For Wills.
Thank you, Deputy Speaker. And I got to say to the chamber, we care. We care about a future made in Australia. And I want to acknowledge the member for Bennelong's moving this motion for this very important topic, because the Future Made in Australia plan is going to turbocharge our clean manufacturing, our industry and energy output and our capabilities. This is what it's about. And it's about time we did something like this, because we had 10 years of neglect on this matter. Even before that, decisions like cutting support for auto manufacturing and then smoking cigars in celebration about it. How many of the industries that supported auto manufacturing have gone to the wall? All the small and medium-sized engineering companies, all the innovation, all the skills outside of the factories themselves and the workers that worked in those factories. That's what the record of the previous government, the coalition, was all about. So it's pretty rich, them coming in here and criticising the future made in Australia, because by supporting Australian businesses and fostering innovation, we're going to build that robust economy that ensures a prosperous future filled with job opportunities, creating jobs made right here in Australia, boosting our economy, creating jobs and delivering for our environment. All of these objectives are what we are aiming at to transition Australia towards net zero. And I've got to say, when we talk about renewables, the target of 82% national renewable electricity generation by 2030, that's so critical. We're squarely focused on the parts of the clean energy supply chains where it's in our national interest to make things here and where we can be competitive, because supply chain resilience, supply chain security is absolutely critical in the current environment that we face. The volatility, the geostrategic volatility, the supply chain issues that we face, and we saw some of this in COVID. This is what this is about as well. It's about economic security and national security and prosperity for Australians. We've seen a 25% increase in renewables in the national electricity market since we came to office, Deputy Speaker. And we know that global energy supply chains have been under enormous pressure in those recent years. We've seen a global demand for batteries. It's set to quadruple by 2030 as we transition to net zero. So Labor knows, the government knows, that we can't rely on the status quo, which is why we have invested and continue to invest in billions of dollars into solar, clean hydrogen and the national battery strategy. $1 billion to establish the Solar Sunshot to capture more of the global solar manufacturing supply chain with production credits and grants. Australian research, Deputy Speaker, invented the modern solar panel, yet only 1% of the panels on Australian roofs are made here. That's going to change. Future Made in Australia is about creating jobs and increasing economic resilience and energy security in this space. On hydrogen, Deputy Speaker, $6.7 billion over the decade for a new production tax incentive of $2 per kilogram starting from 2027-28, and $2 billion for a new round of the successful Hydrogen Head Start program. This investment is going to give industry certainty and the confidence to advance projects here in Australia, accelerating the development of Australia's renewable hydrogen industry. It's going to give long-term certainty for the large-scale renewable hydrogen industry that's critical for future green iron and steel opportunities. And it's going to create, and we're expecting here, in regional and remote areas, which we heard the previous speaker going on about, it's going to create 33,000 direct and indirect jobs and produce $28.9 billion per annum by 2040. Because this is what Labor does, Deputy Speaker. We provide jobs, we create the jobs, we drive the economic stability, the innovation, and we work in partnership with scientists, with environmentalists, with engineers and in manufacturing. That's why Labor is the only party of government who can actually deliver, rather than grandstand on this transition to net zero. We've got a national battery strategy, Deputy Speaker, which is going to be set up, and it's going to be world-leading, harnessing the world's leading expertise in battery technology. And we've got a STEM future, Deputy Speaker. The Future Made in Australia plan is informed by our biggest, brightest minds in research. And unlike the coalition, Labor is going to nurture our research and development ecosystem, because STEM professionals are so important for the future. Here, there's one scientist right here, an engineer, right here. The coming decade poses challenges, Deputy Speaker. That poses challenges, but it also poses opportunities. It gives us opportunities when we see those challenges. And we are committed to harnessing these opportunities through innovation, through investment, through a steadfast commitment to our future. We're going to continue to drive the Future Made in Australia agenda. We're going to drive that agenda hard, because it ensures that our economy, our environment and our communities thrive in the decades to come, and Labor will lead Australia into a new era of prosperity. and build a future where every Australian can be part of.
Thank you.